Hey ho, my name is Jo. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking recent reads. Hello there, my name is Jo and I am Fight and Read Like a Girl, where we do everything bookish and polycystic ovarian syndrome related. If you haven't done so already, I hope you guys would join my cute little family. Here we try to have a little bit of fun, and lately I've been struggling with my Goodreads goal. The Goodreads goal that I have is usually my own personal goal that I try to do every month or every year. Is everything that I try to do every year for myself, not for my YouTube channel, but just for myself. I mean, I always have books to talk about here on YouTube, and as of lately, hasn't been so much. I've been a little absent lately, just because I'm switching jobs and I'm in a whole new world from where I was before when it comes to working. So I have a career now instead of just a job. And I'm really excited for how things are going to go, and I'm really excited for where the future holds with it. So, with that being said, eventually we will have a Q&A, so I'll maybe talk about my job a little bit more. Anyway, but with that being said, I think you guys should hit subscribe because, you know, we definitely try to have fun here. So, as always, the subscribe button's always down there. You can always go check it out. So, anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into these books because I've got about 7 I need to talk about. So 7 books. 7 books is not that a lot. For my absence that I've had, 7 books is not a lot because I have been training with this new job, so I haven't had much time. Why was that really hard to say? I haven't had much time to read. Whoa, I feel like that's really bad grammar. That's why it's hard to say. Anyway, reading has just not come naturally for me because I have been reading so much, like obtaining so much information lately. So reading has been kind of put on the back burner. But now that all my training is complete, we're now reading a little bit more. So let's just go from the top and work our way down, shall we? The first one I have is Love That Dog by Sharon Creech. This one was different. It is written in verse form, and at times it was really hard to read and understand. I found myself having to go back and reread a couple of things because they write in poetry, but the poetry doesn't like rhyme or have a rhythm to it. So that's what makes it really hard to read. And this, you just follow a couple of boys, or you follow one boy. Yeah, you follow a boy who gets a dog, and a little bit of a spoiler, the dog dies. Not sure why the dog died, but the dog freaking dies. And he's like talking about the dog in poetry form and talking back and forth to his best friend and whatnot. I believe I ended up giving this 4 stars. I have to go back and look at my Goodreads. Hold on, I always gotta remember to pull up Goodreads every time I do an update. Or we talk about... Anytime we talk about a book, I need to remember to bring up the Goodreads. Okay. Oh, I can include that one too. Okay. So... Okay, so this one I ended up giving 4 stars, just because it almost just doesn't seem, I definitely feel like I needed a little bit more. It's only 86 pages, but I definitely feel like there had been a little bit more to it, and, you know, it's not long enough to me, in my opinion. I mean, I guess that's where I'm going to try to go with it. Either way, it was a very good, entertaining book. I still have October's TBR behind me. Alright, let's fix that. Alright, the next one I have is We Were Liars by Lockhart. This one was very, very entertaining. And what did ended up giving it 5 stars. And at times it was very hard to follow. Actually, did I give it 5 stars? Yeah, I did. So this one was really hard to follow, and I liked the atmosphere of it. I liked the way that things were played out, and I related to a couple of the characters, and just overall I thought it was turned out really good. And I kind of definitely wanted a little bit more here, but I'm happy with the way it ended, so definitely here for it. First 5-star book in a long time. A long time. Next is my disappointment. I wanted to like this one so much because I've heard so many good things about it, but I definitely know this was my biggest disappointment of it all. And that is The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. This one I ended up giving 3 stars. I mean, for me, a 3-star book is like, okay, yes, it was good, but it's not something that blew me away. Like, it wasn't like a 5-star read is like it blew me away. Like, a 4-star read is like, okay, I enjoyed that, but it didn't blow me away. A 3-star was just like, alright, yeah, I read it, it was okay. And this is about a society that ends up giving up their children, and this witch finds them and has them drink the stars, and they move along with their process. And the witch is not really even sure why they do this, but one day she gets this little baby and she accidentally drinks the moon, and she is getting called Luna, and the witch adopts her. And it's, I don't know, I feel like the power that Luna was given didn't really make sense to me, and it was overall just, it just wasn't there. I don't know how to explain it. It just was not there for me, and I feel like this could have been done a little bit better, a little more better. That's really bad grammar, I guess. I definitely think this could have been done better. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And I feel like there should have been more detail when it comes to the power that she was given. It's just like, oh hey, I have a power. Oh hey, cool, I'm just gonna do that. Like, that's the kind of the idea I got from it. Maybe someday at some point I will reread this to maybe draw it in again. I would pass this along to some of the middle grade readers that I know, and as well as, I don't know, it just wasn't for me, I guess, is just what I'm trying to say. Right, next we have a little bit of a disappointment, I think. Usually, this author is a 5-star read for me. This one wasn't, but that is The Therapist by B.A. Paris. And as you guys already know, B.A. Paris is one of my favorite authors of all time. I've adored her ever since I read Behind Closed Doors. And this one, like, after Behind Closed Doors, she has created such obsessive characters. Behind Closed Doors did have an obsessive character. What was the other one? Bring Me Back was an obsessive character. The Dilemma was an obsessive character. And what was the other one? The Breakdown was also had an obsessive character. But this one definitely was no different. And almost like this one's about a woman who moves into this house, and she finds out that the woman that was there before her was killed, and she becomes obsessed with this person because the person who was killed had the same name as her best friend that was killed. She becomes obsessed with trying to figure out who done it, why, what was their motive, what was the reasoning, what was everything. She just becomes obsessed with trying to figure it out. And I think that's what kind of knocked it down to 4 stars for me, because she was too obsessed, in my opinion. But overall, B.A. Paris's writing, oh, I love her writing. I love the way she describes things. She's just really good at it. And this is just one of those ones that, if you have read this, please reach out to me. I would love to actually talk about it, because it put me in a really weird place after I finished it, and it put me in a reading slump. I'm not even sure why, but it definitely put me in a reading slump. So if you have read this, please reach out to me on other social media, and I want to talk about it with you, because I want to know why I was put in such a reading slump after reading this. So anyway, yes, 4 stars. Alright, next I have Ruby and Olivia by Rachel Hawkins. This one, I ended up giving it 3 stars. Now, it's not because I didn't enjoy it. I really actually enjoyed this story. I thought it was really cute. But I definitely think the kids could have done a little bit more research. The research wasn't drawn out enough, and I mean, it's a middle grade book, so it's supposed to not have a lot of detail. But I definitely feel like if this was turned into a young adult book, and you could put a little bit more information in it, and, you know, a little bit more higher up young adult rather than just being kids and being like a teenager or even like 18, 19 type of kids. Well, not 18, 19, that's an adult, but you get what I'm trying to say. I hope. But I definitely feel like there could have been more with the research, and it was cute. The story was absolutely adorable. I enjoyed it so much. But it wasn't fully there for me. The research wasn't done enough with the kids did some research and it wasn't done enough. But this one is about a couple of kids who have this like summer camp that they're at, and they're going through all this stuff in this old woman's house to find out that it's haunted. And it has things to do with the basement and why it's haunted, and the story was really cute and entertaining. I mean, it definitely kept me engaged all the way through. It needed to be a young adult, not a middle grade, and have more information in it, because it kind of falls a little flat for me, but you know, that's just me. Lastly, I have a book that I'm not saying it disappointed me. Actually, no, I've got one more book after this one. So it didn't really disappoint me, but again, I don't know what it is with middle grade with me lately, but I've been giving every middle grade that I've read lately a 3-star. And maybe it's time for me to get away from my middle grade, but I really love my middle grade stories. And this one is Believe by Julie Mathson. I'm totally saying that name wrong, I'm sorry. But I recently found out, I found out about this on Victorious Readers, that website. I can't say it. You know what, nobody knows what I'm talking about. The website will be on the screen. Anyway, so I was given a free copy of it, and I read the synopsis of it, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'm really going to enjoy this. So I bought myself a physical copy. Okay, so this book, middle grades have just not been it for me, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. But this one, it was cute. It's about a girl who lets her imagination get away from her, and she just, it's hard to explain. It really is. But this girl, 11-year-old girl, she's very into her imagination. She's very intuitive with it, and she ends up getting the lead role in the Peter Pan production at her school. And it was a 3-star. I just feel like it just didn't work. I don't know how to explain that it didn't work. It just didn't work for me. So yes, we actually do have one more book, and that is The Princess Diaries by Cabot. I'm not sure if I mentioned this once already, but this was my second reread of this. I read it a long time ago. I ended up listening to the audiobook, which was narrated by the one and only Anne Hathaway, and I thought she did a fantastic job. The only difference that I didn't remember from this between the movie was her father was actually alive, and her father was the one that told her that she was a princess. And, you know, in the movie it was her grandmother, because, you know, King Rupert, may he rest in peace, was dead. And, you know, I definitely think I like the book better than the movie at this point, even though I really enjoyed the films. But I definitely enjoyed the book better. And I just thought the narration from Anne Hathaway was fantastic. And I will definitely be reading it again, probably physically, and I'll probably even hear Miss Anne Hathaway in my head now because it's launched into my brain. But, you know, definitely entertaining, and I cannot wait to dive into the next one. Alright, so those are the books that I have read recently. If you made it this far in this video, thank you so much for watching. As always, every time I mention a book, it's always listed down below, so you guys can go check them out for yourself. I hope you guys will also leave a comment down below letting me know if you read any of these books, what your opinion was on them, and if I'm being a little too harsh on some of them. So definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I guess that's all I got for you. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you next time. Bye.